How's it going, folks? It's Lobo and welcome back to the channel. So the time you see on the screen is when my reaction begins. If that's all you want to catch, that is perfectly fine. Again, the time on the screen. But anyway, we're just going to talk a bit about WandaVision and my thoughts on the show. This segment in the beginning, like this intro, should be shorter because this isn't the first episode anymore. Last episode, I talked for like 12 minutes, or I think it was 13. So it's definitely going to be shorter here. But also, last episode I said I was having an issue with my camera. I'm like 80%, let's go at 85. I'm 85% sure I fixed it. I had to run a few updates with my PC and then just redo some camera shit. It's because it was being like choppy and freezing during recordings. Like, I know my camera ain't the best in quality. It still does like base 1080, I guess, but it does 60 frames a second. And it can record for like numerous hours at a time. So for my needs, it works perfectly. But as long as it's working, we're all good. But I think it's holding up. At least I can see, because usually it notifies me. It's like, oh, you have a problem right now. But I'm not trying to get you into the technical difficulties, but it's whatever. But anyway, on to WandaVision. But actually, before that, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so this episode will be up on my channel tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So I don't want to do Thursday. Friday, I'm gonna watch La Llorona, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a horror movie. I think it's set in the Conjuring verse, or it's like, I'm pretty sure it is. Only reason I'm doing that is because, one, I haven't seen it, obviously, and two, the new Conjuring movie is coming out. I think it's June. I don't want to get this mistaken with Loki. June 9th is Loki. June 4th, I'm pretty sure, is the new Conjuring movie. So I have to watch that. And then Annabelle Comes Home. So I'm not looking forward to that. I kind of am. I don't know. My taste, or my love for horror, my love for horror movies is like kind of weird. It's a love-hate relationship. I hate getting scared, but then I kind of like secretly enjoy it because I'm like, oh my god, I'm so energized. It's kind of like I don't know. I sound like a psycho right now, but it's just weird. It's like bizarre. Same thing with horror games. They're like super fun and scary because they kind of keep you in it, and that's what I hope to get out of horror movies. But we'll see. I really like the Conjuring movies and Annabelle. I thought they were like a good balance of story and horror. I don't know why that word was so difficult. But anyway, on to WandaVision. I'm not trying to rant and make this super long again. Here we are with episode 2. I liked the first one because obviously on my free time, I don't watch whatever you want to call it, a rom-com, sitcom, whatever. I don't watch those on my free time. I don't watch like any television on my free time unless it's, for instance, like a streaming thing, like Stranger Things. I'll probably watch the new season on here. The Witcher. The GCPD series on HBO Max when that comes out, I'm going to be all over that, baby. You already know. But like I said, that kind of genre that WandaVision is having right now is not something I've ever seen. So the fact that I'm watching this and enjoying it has me surprised because, again, it's so different. I guess the only reason I'm watching this is because it is Marvel characters. Takes place in the MCU. When and where, I don't know. We'll find out as the show goes on, or at least as I progress in the show, because again, this came out a while ago. But anyway, the first one, what I remember from it, I think it took place in, I wanted to say 40s, but I really think it's the 50s. At least towards the end of the episode, I was coming to the conclusion. I'm like, I think this is the 50s. And it was in black and white. Obviously, there was Vision and Wanda. They were not called... Well, Wanda is her real name. She wasn't called Scarlet Witch, but Vision is just Vision. They're like, okay, that's a cool name, whatever. I'm talking about like the people that address him as Vision. They're not like, huh, you have a bizarre name, but it's whatever. And then there were the two other characters. I think his boss was Mr. Hart because of the heart on the calendar. And then there was the neighbor, the like housewife neighbor that would come up and help Wanda cook. What was her name? I don't know why I'm thinking of Lagatha. I know you're supposed to say Lagertha, but everyone says Lagatha. I think it's Lagatha without the L, so it's just Agatha. It's something like that. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I'm wondering who else will appear in this. I don't know if it's a continuity, like it's gonna have the same characters, or again, I don't know what this show is supposed to be about. It's Wanda tripping in remorse, practically. We saw a bit of that. There are certain parts where you can tell reality's like not quite what it seems. Like, for instance, there was the Stark toaster, and it, I heard the toaster sounded like his gauntlet powering up. But more importantly, it had the blinking red light. That was the only bit of color, at least that I've seen in the first episode. I don't know if there's other color somewhere else, but it was visible, blinking red light. I know at the end with the credits rolling and then it panned out, but that's different. I'm talking about like in the confines of the episode itself. That was the only bit of color we saw. And then the other kind of weird thing was when the boss was choking and Wanda was like freaking out. And then his wife was being all creepy, like, stop it. It was freaky, but you could tell there's something more. There's something, obviously, the writers and stuff are trying to put in your mind to make you think. And I'm thinking that's her kind of being like, okay, something's not right. And even Vision was kind of like freaking out. But it's weird because they didn't go to help him. Nobody went to help him. You can tell it's like just a weird situation, like kind of like a nightmare almost, where you want to run from something, but then you notice, oh my god, you're stuck in place. I feel like it's kind of like one of those things at play. And then also, the final thing is they don't know they were married or when they were married, why they moved there. They don't know like the details, because obviously the neighbor and the boss and his wife were asking them all these questions, and they just had zero answers for them. And they're like, why? It's because one of them is dead and the other is tripping balls, man. So it's whatever. But my prediction for the next episode is, well, what I'm wondering is if it follows what I thought, or my theory, even though it's probably not even true. It's probably true, but it's not that hard to guess, is that each episode is a new decade. So if last one was 50s, is this one going to be 60s? I'm wondering. So we'll have to see that, but I'm excited. I don't know if it's going to be another comedy. Like, I don't know if like the genre changes every episode too or whatever, but I'm very interested and I'm just ready to enjoy it. So hope you guys are ready. Let's get this show started. My connection right now is horrendous and it is buffering to start, so hopefully this thing works out. The neighbor's name is Agnes. I don't know why I was saying Agatha. Right now it's doing the intro, but I forgot. I remembered after I recorded last episode, I remembered how like Wanda got her powers. It was from the Mind Stone, because there was that whole scene in Infinity War where Vision and her had that connection. That was why she was able to destroy it before Thanos reversed time to get it back. But remember, he said I like he couldn't feel pain. He says I only like feel you. It's because they were connected by the Mind Stone. Because she's red, I thought it was the Ether/Reality Stone, but I was wrong.
That's all? Are you using your night vision?
I assure you, my love, I see nothing amiss. The dove.
Yes, dear.
Get the light.
Oh my god, dude. This is definitely giving me the 60s vibes now. I think I was right. Oh, what's that show? Obviously, I wasn't born in the friggin' 60s, but there was a show where it was like some lady on a broom flying through the air. It was an animated show. It kind of reminds me of that, this whole animation. 60s had color, but this doesn't, so. Or maybe this is the 50s and last episode was the 40s. I don't know.
I said the cabinet glamour, for I illusion vow to bring you back exactly as you are.
I still can't decide if this is 60s or 50s. It's one or the other. It's in color. They're very Iron Man colors. The red and yellow.
Look, it's the star of the show.
Agnes! Yes, of course.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Agnes, we will take good care of.
I mean, maybe it's red and yellow for Wanda and Vision, but it reminds me of Tony Stark.
Can I give you a bit of friendly advice?
Is it about the way I'm dressed?
Yes, but it's too late for that. Dottie is the key.
Maybe I could just be myself, more or less.
Oh, Wanda. That's good.
New business actually means another round of Danish.
Raspberry or cheese filled?
Oh, neither for me, thank you. I don't eat food. To share.
Oh no.
Norm here's a communist.
Hate food.
Is gum food?
Well, my understanding is that it's purely for mastication.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
Well,
Serious.
What the hell? Unfortunately, that has happened to me before when somebody hits you in the back and you choke on your own gum. Not a pleasant time, especially in front of 30 people.
Who are you?
Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda?
Dude, what? It's exactly like last episode where he was choking and then he's like, well, I gotta go.
Strucker, he'll make time for you.
Oh shit, it's Hydra. Interesting. Things are kind of speeding up a bit.
Is that him? Oh, it looks like he's got a little hitch in his giddy up. Whoa!
well, me and the boys were playing a rather thrilling game of horses of shoes. No, that's not it. Shoe horses. No.
They're gonna think he's drunk.
Horses shoes. Hello, Westview! Good afternoon! It's so lovely to meet. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I am Glamour. You will believe our little deceptions, because human beings are easily fooled due to their limited understanding of the inner workings of the universe. Flourish! Flourish!
Vision, what are you doing?
What?
Oh, because it's cardboard cutout.
You weren't supposed to see how we did that trick.
Stand up, Sherbert. Say hello to the crowd.
It's Herbert.
Sherbert.
Pick a card. Eh?
What?
I'm doing it.
Is that how mirrors work?
Shut up, Beth.
This is what I was gonna say. How does that prove anything?
Volunteer named my husband Ralph. Oh.
She's always on about her husband. I didn't know Wanda could teleport people. I mean, I didn't know she could do any of the shit she's done so far in the show. I mean, after all, she's a witch. Scarlet Witch.
What?
It's really happening. If it's that damn tree again, I am going to rip it out by the roots.
It's Pennywise. It's a beekeeper. What the hell?
No.
Oh, that's a cool transition to color. This has to be the 60s then.
Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda.
Ooh. Yeah, this is getting, like, it's picking up the pace. This is getting pretty good. Oh, yeah, let me check that. I don't think there's any post credits. Nope. Okay. Well, there we have it. There was episode 2. And I really enjoyed that. In the beginning, was a little bit slow. And I think it, like, wasn't hitting its mark. And then it did. I thought that was awesome. It was very creative because it had, I don't know. What is it? Again, this kind of genre of TV, the sitcom, rom-com, whatever, a lot of it is kind of like that cliche miscommunication. Like last episode where Wanda thought they were going to have like a romantic dinner and it was really for Vision's boss. And then this one was that he was drunk and she had no idea. Well, he wasn't like drunk in a typical sense. He had gum stuck in his gears, even though I didn't know Vision had literal gears. Again, none of this is literally real, so it's just whatever. It doesn't make any sense. It's not supposed to, but symbolically, metaphorically, whatever you want to call it, he had gum in his gears and it was making him inebriated. And I thought that was hilarious. That was awesome. That was very creative, and I liked that a lot. But see what I mean? I think I was right. That was the very reminiscent of the 60s. Obviously, their living room changed. The clothing changed, the style, her hair. I'm pretty sure. I kind of looked the same. That might have changed. I mean, his outfit, everything looked different. And I'm really getting the 60s vibes. Especially that intro. I told you there was that thing where you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and neither do I, because I've never seen this show, but I've seen like clips when I watch like American Dad or Family Guy or something, and it was doing like a kind of parody of it, but I've also seen the original clip. It's like some lady on a broom flying through the air, but it's a very old school kind of animation, so it makes me think, okay, this falls within the 60s range, because obviously the 50s would have been black and white for the most part, and then the 60s was kind of okay, the TV's starting to hit its stride, we're having animations. I think that was also the year, even though it was later in that decade, it was when Scooby-Doo first started. But anyway, besides that, this showed a lot of growth, because for one, there was the airplane that landed, which I said kind of reminded me of Tony Stark. I mean, I guess Red could also be Scarlet Witch or Vision, but Vision's kind of more like pinkish red, but obviously the Mind Stone is yellow, and that was red and yellow. So it might have been Wanda and Vision, but typically Tony's armor is the red and yellow. If you want to call it gold, that's fine, but it's red and yellow. The last episode, they mentioned the toaster was from Stark Industries, and I didn't hear the word Stark in this, so maybe there's more kind of things with him? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's sort of related to him, because I've seen there was that Easter egg of Tony last episode, or Stark. It's not very direct. It could be Howard Stark, because again, 40s, 50s, that's when he was alive. But then this episode had Hydra. I think that's just a small little Easter egg, but I don't know. For all we know, well, you probably know because you've seen this, but for me, I haven't seen this, and I don't know what to swear upon, because everyone has their different beliefs, but the most I could swear upon, let's say anything, is I don't know the ending. I don't know what's going on here, and I promise. You can call me a liar, that's fine, but I don't know how to express it enough. I don't know how this is going to play out, how it's going to end, what's going on. So for me, my kind of cooked up theory right now is, because I love to do my theories, which, let me tell you, I am usually horribly wrong on. So I'm thinking maybe because Tony used the Infinity Gauntlet and there was the new Mind Stone and then he snapped restoring shit, maybe it kind of brought Vision half back, is what I'm thinking. Because he had the Mind Stone, which was his ticket to life. As soon as Thanos ripped that out and Wanda originally destroyed it, both of those scenarios killed him. So it's clear he can't live without the Mind Stone. And here, you can see he still has it in his head. Well, has it, because again, this isn't real. But what if, again, this is my theory, if this is true, that's awesome. It's probably not. But what if, like, when he snapped back, like, oh, bring everything back, because the Mind Stone is such a powerful entity, even though it was they were called gems in the comics, not stones, but it kind of like half brought him back, and this is how it works, like a parallel kind of, I wouldn't say parallel universe, but it's definitely like a dreamlike state. It's not real, but it's not what's the word? It's not, I don't know how to word it. It's not exactly real, but it's not exactly fake. Like, it has some degrees of reality, because you saw it breaking in the first episode, and you saw it breaking here too when what's her name, Blondie, not Blondie, What was the annoying lady's name that was, oh, clap for me now? Shit. Betty? It was something, it was like it was an odd name. Whitey? Shiny. Audie. Dottie. Oh, I got it. See, that's how you work stuff out. You just guess until you get it. But she got her blood was red. We saw that in color. But the radio, I didn't recognize the voice, was saying Wanda, what was it saying? It either said like, do you know where you are or why are you here? It was something. And Wanda, again, had that same look that she had when the guy was choking, like that, like kind of like horrified look. So it's like interesting because now we're playing with the fact that she's becoming more and more exposed to, oh, this isn't real. Something's like horribly wrong with this. And then to top it off, at the end of the episode, she's pregnant now, I guess? I have no idea. But what's really the kind of the weird thing is that when they went outside, and again, just a random beekeeper comes out of the sewers like Pennywise, just for no reason, then does his little turn. I couldn't see his face, it was too dark. I mean, my TV monitor, whatever you want to call it, has fairly good brightness on right now, and I have the lights off, but I think it was intentional where you're not really supposed to see his face. Like, obviously I could see like the outline of eyes and whatever facial structure, I guess, but like I can't identify who that was. Maybe it was, I don't know if it's an established character in the MCU or some character that we've never seen before, but is actually from like Scarlet Witch's comics. Again, I don't know. I don't know Wanda from the comics nor Vision. I don't really know any comics outside of Batman and really Spider-Man. I do know a lot of random facts about comics. Like throughout the years, I followed a lot of Instagram pages that do like random comic fact, Marvel issue, you know what I mean? So I know random facts, but I wouldn't be like directed towards one character, and especially not a character like Wanda or Vision, because they were not like A-list characters like ever, you know what I mean? Like the big hitters of Marvel. If you were to ask this oh my god. You would ask this like 15, 20 years ago. Obviously, first one would be like Spider-Man, then probably Hulk, maybe Captain America, then Iron Man, you know what I mean? And maybe Thor, but not really Thor. Thor wasn't really big until, again, the MCU kind of changed the perception of everything, which is perfectly fine. It's awesome. You know, that's actually funny because I know a lot of people, I don't mean to make anyone mad. Again, this is just my opinion, whatever. But a lot of times when we get reboots, people will be mad. Like, I'm meaning reboot is like, say you have a beloved character, like now we have Superman being rebooted. Or something, I don't know. Henry Cavill's, that's a bad example, because Henry Cavill, I know you're supposed to say Cavill, I say Cavill. I'm American, I can't help it. But let me do someone else. Let me say, for instance, Andrew Garfield with Spider-Man. Now Tom Holland is Spider-Man. That's a better example. I'm just saying that because Henry Cavill is still up in the air. We don't know what's happening with that. But when Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, they recast the characters, they technically rebooted the franchise, and people would either get mad or be like, okay. And you'd have some people who would say, oh my god, I'm sick of the same like main characters that are overused again and again and again, which is a fair point. I know a lot of people want that content, but sometimes it can get a little just, okay, you're drowning me in it. But then when you do a character that like really nobody likes, they're like, why'd you do this? Nobody asked for it. Which is a fair point, I guess. Really, no one did ask for it. But it's not that bad because, again, it's not what was wanted, but it's welcome. I mean, first of all, it's some content, you know what I mean, set in these supposed universes, whether it's Marvel or DC. It's still, it can be enjoyable. It still can be one of the best things because, like, look about it. We had Thor and Loki. Loki got his own show now. Wanda and Vision, they have their own show, and we're watching it, or at least I'm watching it. I don't know. It just kind of reminded me of that because there are kind of like the Peacemaker show. Again, I don't think anyone asked for that. I didn't even know about Peacemaker until I was like, oh, who the hell is John Cena playing in the Suicide Squad? And it's Peacemaker. 95% of the Sorry, I got a hiccup. 95% of the characters in the Suicide Squad I've never heard of until like a year ago. Jesus, I'm getting hiccups. I need to slow down my talking pace. But it just shows that if you give certain characters like the right script, breathing room, whatever, they can flourish. And they're doing it here. Wanda and Vision, they're, again, I know it's very comedy based, even more so than typical Marvel movies. Again, I'm not a Marvel hater. I love Marvel, but obviously sometimes it can get a little excessive with the humor, which is not a bad thing. I know they want to market this for children. It's Disney after all, but sometimes it can be like, okay, this is a little excessive, but they're still able to juggle or balance it with a lot of emotional scenes and kind of dark themes and do it very well. So it's okay. Like, it's a win-win all around. If I were to describe the MCU, it's definitely like a win-win for everyone. There's a little bit of everyone's like tastes and likes within the movies, even though it might not solely focus on one of those aspects. If I had to say it like that, I don't know why I'm saying that even to begin with, but it just made me think of that. And we also learned, or well, I learned that her name isn't Agatha. The neighbor's name is Agnes. So she reappeared. I didn't see the boss. I saw his wife though, and I saw two of the co-workers, the one that got fired, the one with the mustache, and then the one that was like the desk next to Vision, like last episode. So a few reoccurring characters. They kept the same names. I think they work at the same place still, but now the time zone, or just like the time setting has taken a decade leap. So it's interesting. I'm very curious how this is all going to play out, but it's getting a little more direct, if I had to say, because it was kind of ambiguous last episode or ominous, whatever. I don't know. I kind of use those words to describe the same thing. Ambiguous, ominous. I feel like they practically say the same thing. But it was very up in the air with what was happening when the dude was choking. And then this one was more direct because the dude crawled out of the sewer and he addressed Wanda, calling her Wanda. And then we heard, I don't know if he did. I think he did. Well, I heard that towards the credits, and that was towards the end. But the radio did address Wanda. So things are being more kind of like, okay. So we'll see. Again, last episode, if you didn't watch the little intro bit or the end of that, I forget where I said it. I said I did see one spoiler / theory that I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently someone said like Doctor Strange is trying to communicate with her and say, yo, you're tripping right now, something like that. I don't know if that was a false theory or if that was true or not. I did hear that he was cut from the final episode. Apparently he was like supposed to be written in, but then it was kind of being a little overfilled or whatever, and then they cut him out. So again, I don't know what the finale is, but we'll have to see. But to me, I did not recognize that voice. Maybe it was her brother, Quicksilver, meaning like the one from the MCU. I don't know. He made his first appearance and then he got shot up and died in Age of Ultron. I was like, oh, it's kind of a waste. You know, you had your first kind of live action Flash type character. Yes, I know the X-Men movies had him originally, but I've never seen the X-Men movies. And if I run out of content this summer, or like towards the fall, I might do a movie marathon of all the X-Men movies because I've never seen them. And everybody I ever seen like a poll or whatever praises the hell out of the movie Logan, and I've never seen it. But obviously that's like the last one or close to the last one, so obviously I would not watch that first. Hugh Jackman's an incredible actor, so it might be interesting to watch and see. I know Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool in like one of them, but he looked weird as shit. Now obviously he was his past Deadpool was in like Deadpool 2 when he went back in time. That was like a funny bit, but I did know that. But we'll have to see. I'll probably do that, but I'm very interested where this is gonna go. Again, I wouldn't call it a dream. Like she's just lying down in bed, passed out. I don't know. What if she's like been captured or something? again, I don't know. Maybe there's like a villain that's making her dream this up, or maybe it has something to do with the Infinity Stones. I don't know. This kind of makes me think of Batman, the animated series, when you had the Mad Hatter, Jesus Christ, the Mad Hatter. I said Hatter. He kind of put a device on Batman to make him leave him alone, and he dreamt up like his perfect dream world and stuff, and it was a world where he was marrying Selina. He wasn't Batman anymore. It was a very awesome episode. I love Batman, the animated series. I mean, okay, we gotta stop. I'm gonna start ranting about Batman. I'm so sorry. I do this every episode. I apologize, but I tend to rant. It's not because I like the sound of my own voice. I promise you. It's just I always get so kind of like giddy when I get excited about shit, so I don't be quiet, especially with Batman, bro. That's, again, I said this last episode, but the one reason I can't ever do a Batman reaction is because I will not stop talking. I tried once to do a reaction with some Batman news dropped like a couple months ago or whatever. That video ended up being, what was it, 1 hour and 25 minutes, 26 minutes. I just would not shut the hell up. So I'm sorry. Batman is my favorite thing, and I promise once the official trailer comes out, which is most definitely coming out, DC Fandom in October. I know everyone wants to have it in the summer, but there's no way if they did drop it in the summer. Holy shit, bro. I started this reaction channel because of the Batman teaser trailer. That's like my biggest regret, was like not reacting to that. I freaked out, dude. I had to cut out some of the what we were just talking about because I just started going off about Batman, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is a WandaVision. I just proved my own point again. But I'm gonna end off the video here before I blow a fuse and just unload knowledge on you. Drop that knowledge, but it's whatever. I'm looking forward to the next episode. If it's gonna be the 70s, that'll be pretty sick. I'm waiting for the 80s because I think the 80s was such an awesome time. Again, I don't want people to guess my age because I don't like revealing my age, but I am older than I look, but I was not born in the 80s, okay? But it does, the 80s just look such like a great time to grow up, especially in Stranger Things. That kind of aesthetic of just, hey, we're kids, let's play board games and ride our bike. I did that a lot in my childhood, but it was just different. The more technology impacts like today's children, it's just different. Like I never see kids ride their bike when I drive through a neighborhood or whatever. It's all technology, man. I'm a gamer. I love movies and shows and stuff, but I still think there's more to life than just that. Again, people have their own choices. If they want to do that, that's perfectly fine, but it's just kind of little sad to see how certain things get lost, because it is a lot of fun being outside. But I'm excited to see WandaVision's take on the 80s. I think that's going to be awesome. If they're going to go more for like the neighborhood vibe, like I was describing in Stranger Things, or more kind of like the techno punk, like crazy hairdos, the outfits and stuff, and the fast cars, you know what I mean? So I'm excited for that episode. That should be like, not next episode, but like episode 4 or 5, if it is following that timeline continuity. But I'm gonna end it off here because I've officially been recording for an hour and I'm getting severe hiccups because that's what happens when you talk too fast. So again, hope you guys enjoyed, but until then, oh shit, I gotta watch La Llorona in a couple days. God damn it. I hate being scared, but I love it. So that will come after the next episode. This is being dropped on Wednesday, and then this next episode, like the one after this that you're watching, will be on Friday, and then La Llorona I'll try to get up on Saturday. So Saturday is when that horror movie that I'm going to be reacting to will drop. So again, hope you guys enjoyed, but until then, I'll catch you folks in the next video.